part, we are going to talk about different types of network. We will focus on three major types of networks that are out there. First is local area network. Then we have the wide area network, which is called WAN, and then we have the metropolitan area network, which is called MAN. Local area network is a group of computers and network devices that can be connected together, usually within the same building or physical approximately. By definition, the connection must be high speed and relatively inexpensive. Sometimes we can use the token ring or Ethernet connectivity. For example, at the university at USF, most departments are on LANs. So a LAN connection is a high-speed connection that the campus can use. Most connections are either Ethernet, which are 10 megabytes per second, or fast Ethernet, which is 100 megabytes per second. And maybe some locations even have Giga Internet or 1000 megabytes per second. Then we have the WAN, which is wide area network, and it's not restricted to a geographical location. It might be confined within a bound of a state or maybe a country. A WAN connected several LANs together and may be limited to be even an enterprise or the corporation, and it can be accessible to the public. The technology is high speed and it's relatively expensive. The internet is a great example of worldwide public WAN. Also, we have MAN, which what we call it the metropolitan area network. It's a larger network that usually spans several buildings in the same city or town, and it can be used in the cities. This is an example of a LAN that can be used in the office, maybe from our department at USF. So we are all workstation connected to the server, connected to the printer, and as well as internet. This is WAN, which the internet is basically the wide area network. And this is MAN, which is actually the connection between all these LANs that are span over a city or a town. Okay, let's look at network topology. Network topology is the layer of the connection, such as links and nodes of a computer network. We have different types of network topology: star, ring, bus, hierarchical, and mesh. First, look at the star topology. The star topology consists of a central computer and a series of nodes. It's connected through a central hub with a point-to-point connection. All traffic on the network passes through a central hub. The hub acts as a signal booster or the repeater. The star topology is considered one of the easiest topology to be able to design and implement. There have some advantages and disadvantages. And one of the advantages of the star topology is the simplicity of adding additional nodes. So it is effective at also handling short bursts of traffic. However, there are some disadvantages of the star topology, that it might need a lot of more cables, and if the hub breaks, everything will stop working. Also, we have ring topology. There is no host required, as each computer manages its own connectivity. Each device incorporates a receiver for the incoming signal and a transmitter to send the data on the next device in the ring. The network is dependent on the ability of the signal to travel around the ring, and the transmission is in one direction. It needs less cable than the star topology. Diagnosing problems and modifying the networks are, however, it's more difficult. Now let's talk about bus topology. In the local area networks where bus topology is being used, each machine is connected to a single cable. Each computer is connected to the single bus cable through some kind of a connector. A terminator is required at each end of the bus cable to prevent the signal from bouncing back and forth. A signal from the source travels in both directions to all the machines that are connected on the bus cable until it finds the MAC address or the IP address on the network that is intended for the recipient. If the machine address doesn't match the intended address of the data, the machine ignores the data. The bus topology consists only one wire. It is cheap to implement comparing to the other topologies, and it is best for handling the steady traffic. However, it has some disadvantages. It's very hard to do fault diagnosis, and bus cable can be a bottleneck when the network traffic is heavy. And since only one cable is being used, if the network cable breaks, the whole network will be shut down. The next one is called hierarchical topology or tree. This type of network is when it combines computers with different processing strength in different organizational level. It can be used by traditional mainframe networks. Mainframe computer is normally at the top, then we have the front-end processors, and then the controller and multiplexer at the next level, and at the bottom level we have the terminals and workstations. What is a controller? A controller is a hardware and software device that controls the data transfer from a computer to a peripheral device, such as monitor, printer, or keyboard, and vice versa. What is a multiplexer? Multiplexer is a hardware device that allows several nodes to share one common communication channel. Their intermediate level devices reduce the host processing load by collecting data from terminals and workstations. There are some advantages and disadvantages to this topology. One of the advantages, it offers network control and its lower cost. One of the disadvantages includes the network expansion may pose a problem, and there could be traffic congestion both at the root and at the higher level nodes as well. The last topology that we are going to talk about is mesh topology. In this type of topology, every node is connected to every other node, otherwise known as plex or interconnected. There are some advantages and disadvantages for this type of topology as well. This topology is highly reliable. Failure of one or few nodes doesn't usually cause a major problem in the network operation, because at this time there could be other nodes that are available. But however, it has some disadvantages. This type of topology is costly and it is very hard to maintain and expand.